presentation you've seen from the First Art organisation, who were the people in partnership here with the 2016 Bolsover Festival of Brass. We've just heard the Blydydd Welfare Band, musical director Martin Hartfield with their programme, and the next band on in a few minutes' time are going to be the NBD Band with Simon Greswell. So in the meantime, back to our two experts, and we are talking about contrasts in programmes and everything there. And again, another band that put a lot of contrast in there. They started off with Paul Cooper. Of course, Paul, he's the one who could create all the great openings and all the great finishes. Yeah, and we had two contrasts here. Home of Legends, which is about Black Dyke, and then the one that he finished off with, it was the two sections of Fight in the Blood, which was written for, I think, 120th anniversary of the ISB. So, you know, we've got something on, you know, the secular side of it, the religious side of it there. But so contrasts are key to an entertainment programme.
Yeah, and as you say, Paul Cooper, great at openers and great at finishers. There's a programme bookended by Paul Cooper. But actually, some nice contrast in the middle, as you say. I mean, Demelza, lovely horn solo, really nicely played there, actually, really. As well. Very, very nicely played. And Starburst by Dan Price, another young composer who's sort of becoming increasingly prominent, actually. There's a few pieces by Dan Price on the programmes today, looking through.
We're talking a little bit earlier, as you say, about getting contrast in programmes. One of the things that we've seen over the last few years is bands are doing thematic programmes. It was brought in, I think the Norwegians started it, didn't they? And now it's actually, possibly, has it gone full circle now? And we've gone back to an age where, funny enough, just play good music and play it well.
I often wonder about theme programmes. I think often conductors seem to think they're under pressure to do a theme programme at certain events. You know, certainly when you go to Sidis in Stavanger, which is a big entertainment contest in Norway.
Some of the themes are tenuous, isn't they?
Some of the themes are tenuous, and some of them are just completely mad, to be honest with you. You've seen some incredible things over there. Some of them work brilliantly, it's got to be said, but often I think you get lost in it's like the good idea in the pub one night, but the time it actually translates to the concert hall, it's maybe not working quite so well.
I think the one of the big problems with theme programmes is they have to be clever, don't they? They have to hang together.
But very often we just see,
we don't see
that pieces with a similar names. You know, and you think, well, okay, there's a different, there's a literal connection there, but is there really a musical one? I'm not always sure that these things work entirely well. But there's almost become a culture these days at band contests where conductors seem to think, you know, I've got to do a theme, and we'll not get as many points if we don't do a theme. I don't think it's like that at all. If you do one and it comes off brilliantly, great. You know, you've won the thing.
The danger, as you just say, is that the music actually then becomes subservient to the theme, and that should never be the case. The music should always come first.
Going back then, we talked about a little earlier about Alga Howarth.
Yeah.
You know, he would just drop in something, and Howard Snell the same, something that would possibly have heard from. You always used to pick something like from the 1930s, wasn't it? Yeoman, Tea all these type of things. All of a sudden, they came out from nowhere. Didn't relate to anything, but they just stood by themselves.
The thing is, they were arranged so brilliantly when Howard did it.
I mean, Howard was a master at finding
Beethoven's Beano and things like that.
Right.
You know,
but Howard was a master at finding those little things. I mean, remember the clock with the Dresden chimes. Now, you know, where do you find these little? But Howard was a master at finding little pieces like that, and just little snippets of musical history in a way, but stuff from the 30s and just eras that we don't hear anymore. But he did it brilliantly.
But he also knew how to balance a programme as well. You know, it wasn't just about finding that one quirky wee piece. He also knew how to grab you right from the very start. And I think the next band's going to play a piece that was the Scaramouche. I remember hearing Desford in Howard's time with them opening up with that. You just think, well, that's an unusual kind of start, but it was so effective as well. It really kind of.
What he was good at as well, wasn't it? Was always to put in when he did the humour side of it. The humour wasn't, you know, it wasn't.
There was a settled. There was a settled.
It was never custard pie in the face. It was always. No. It made you think, didn't it? All of a sudden,
there was a subtlety.
I understand the wit behind it, but it was like a musical wit.
Well, the entertainment was always in the music, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There might have been the odd bit of choreography. They did the Two Cats thing, you know, with Martin Winter and Chris Jeans, didn't they? And they were doing the marching about the stage.
Howard Snell's greatest stroke of genius, though, was the year following Grimethorpe, wasn't it? When Steve Mead, who we'll be seeing later, Steve Mead walked on his own and started to play Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. And that demonstrates, I think, the subtlety of Howard Snell's humour, and it worked brilliantly in Desford programmes back in those days.
Another one we just heard in that programme there was Demel's by Hugh Nash, of course, as we said, it's a pseudonym of Gough Richards. So that was another great arranger for bands there. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later for that there. The next band on is NBD Bank with the conductor, musical director Simon Greswell, and they're going to be playing a programme that starts off with Scaramouche by Darius Milhaud, Moto Perpetuo by Carl Boehm, which is the xylophone soloist featuring Minish Patel, a piece by Leroy Anderson arranged by Sandy Smith called The Waltzing Cat, that's something back from the 1950s, To a Wild Rose, which of course is the lovely traditional there, and that's going to feature the cornet soloist Chris Small. Then we've got Prelude No. 2 by Rachmaninoff, arranged by Sandy Smith, and they're going to be finishing their programme, the All Bells and Whistles, with Malaguena, which is the Ernesto Liquano, arranged by Mark Free. So we've got another programme, another contrasting programme from another band. So with that in mind, we're going to hand you back to the hall and back to Simone Ribello.